Hello, this is Maggie Young with Oat Couture. First, I would like to discuss what went well the first 8 quarters of Oat Couture's business venture and what specific business practices enabled us to maintain a good position in the muesli market. One of our strengths was our flexibility. We monitored our muesli sales, and after analyzing actual sales against projected sales, we would make adjustments to price and/or marketing to better align actual sales with our projected sales. Also, we were completely willing to discard products that were consistently not selling well and replace them with products we thought would be more marketable by researching sales data to find products with potential. We also had excellent communication. Each team member had an area of expertise, but we could also manage each other's areas depending on individual availability. So we would communicate with each other when we were going to be online or offline, so that somebody else could cover for us while we were offline. Also, after quarter ends, we would often meet to review and, if necessary, modify our strategy between quarters. We started each quarter well organized and ready for the upcoming quarter's business. We started each quarter with a detailed production plan, uniquely designed for that quarter, which would let each team member know what actions needed to happen and when they needed to happen throughout the quarter. This kept everyone on the same page, literally and figuratively. This production plan, I believe, is what kept our production efficiency consistently high. So here's an example of our production schedule. You can see at the top that we have the quarter organized by days with corresponding hours of the day in real time, which was helpful. And for each product on the left, we have the ordering schedule on top, and below that, the production schedule, and then at the bottom, the raw materials inventory for each product. Here's a table of the products that we started with. You can see that we had 2 1-kilogram products and 2 500-gram products at the start of the simulation. As we progressed through the quarters, we distanced ourselves more and more from 1-kilogram products and started specializing in 500-gram products almost exclusively. And this slide shows the product line we ended up with in quarter 8. The research that we conducted before the start of the game seemed to serve us well, as we kept 3 of the original products that we started with, and our enriched raisin experiment was actually expanded into a 500-gram raisin, which was also an enriched recipe. As the game progressed, we tried to keep a balance between consistency and flexibility. So our business strategy did change throughout the quarters, but not considerably. We originally set production time to 8 hours, anticipating producing and selling at least 588,000 boxes of cereal each quarter. Daily production was maintained at 21,000 boxes, and we hoped to maintain at least a 93% production efficiency. We had 1 enriched product of 1-kilogram raisin, which was an experiment to see if there was a market for enriched products. A bit of a research and development tool, if you will. We did have a few changes in business strategy as the game progressed. We started producing and selling closer to 600,000 boxes per quarter, and we tried to maintain a 95% production efficiency, up from 93%. Also, we decided to move exclusively to 500-gram products. 500-gram products take the pressure off of raw material storage capacity issues, and they also sell more consistently, which makes them inherently easier to manage and market. Our new strategy also included vigilant monitoring of sales, which we discovered sales can be very capricious, so we would monitor the sales and make adjustments to pricing and marketing as necessary. Oat Couture exhibited sound financial management. We increased our credit rating to AAA in quarter 3 and maintained that rating through quarter 8. We paid down our $12 million bank loan to $2.8 million at the end of quarter 8, and our debt-to-equity ratio was very low at 19.6%. Our ending cash balance was at $1.2 million at the end of quarter 8, and excess cash would go towards our bank loan at the end of each quarter. We have been consistent throughout the quarters, increasing net income at a steady pace. I would say we're on the right path and can be trusted to manage Oat Couture in future quarters. The initial investment of $12 million was successfully turned into a lucrative muesli company. And now for the second part of the presentation, I would like to review some final numbers and discuss some lessons that we learned over the course of the simulation. We did, as mentioned earlier, have a change in strategy. We were transitioning to all 500 gram products. You can see in this table that over the last 2 quarters, with the products in column 1 and the daily average boxes sold in column 3, that 1 kilogram raisin cells were slowing for us. It was the last 1 kilogram product we were still producing and selling in quarters 7 and 8, as we were transitioning to all 500 gram products. On this slide, you can see on the left axis our number of boxes sold, and on the bottom axis our products. The red columns show Oat Couture's boxes sold, and or not the columns, but the bars. And the gold bars are the boxes sold for the total market. You may notice that the market share for 1 kilogram raisin was better than 500 gram raisin, but because 1 kilogram raisin cells were so inconsistent and overall less lucrative for us than any of our 500 gram products, we decided to phase out 1 kilogram raisin despite the fact that it had better market share than its 500 gram counterpart. The last 2 bars on the right of the chart show the 500 gram nut product, which was very successful, especially in the last 2 quarters. We had 78% of the 500 gram nut muesli market share. This chart shows the final finished goods inventory for each of our products, with the number of boxes represented by the left axis and our products shown on the bottom axis. Our finished goods inventory at the end of quarter 8 consisted of only 500 gram raisin at about 95,000 boxes and 500 gram original at 63,000 boxes. We ran out of 1 kilogram raisin, but since we were phasing out 1 kilogram raisin, that was completely expected and welcome. The 500 gram nut, however, unexpectedly sold very well with very little advertising, and we ran out of 500 gram nut. But if we were playing into quarter 9, 500 gram nut is the next product in line to be added to the production schedule. And I'm just going to wrap up with our main lessons learned from the simulation. Early on, we decided to order muesli supplies 7 days out rather than 5 days, just to give us some slack for system or user error. We discovered it's better to go over capacity on raw materials for a couple of days than to not have supplies arrive on time. Our second lesson learned was try not to freak out when sales plummet. For us at least, sales of a certain product would often bounce back the next quarter. We tried to make rational decisions based on good data research and not based on emotion, which did take some practice. With regards to marketing, we learned not to obsess over one product that wasn't selling well. Sometimes the market just doesn't want your product, no matter how much you market it. One quarter, our sales of raisin muesli dropped significantly, which we then decided was most likely a consequence of the bacterial issues in the California vineyards. And we thought that because the next quarter, the raisin muesli sales bounced right back. And finally, it's good to have specialties within the business and have experts in certain business areas. But cross-training is also important in order to make sure there is full coverage when monitoring sales, ordering supplies, and managing production. Sometimes one person would have to hold down the fort, so to speak, and would need to know how to manage all aspects of the game, at least well enough for a short period of time. Overall, I'm very proud of the fact that our place in the market stayed relatively consistent throughout the game. We started strong and we ended strong. So that concludes the Oat Couture final presentation. It's been a real pleasure working with you, Christine, and I hope you have a great holiday break. And thank you for all your hard work and timely help you've given us this semester. Cheers.